Hey YouTube, did you know that when you are recording with this lovely program called Loom and you accidentally start YouTube music, it stops your video, the recording of the video? I just found that out. So I'm about 15 minutes into the next part and everything kind of stopped on me. So instead of like backtracking everything, I'm just going to catch you guys up to what I was just putting together for you and we'll go from there. So let's dive back in. What I was working on most recently, again, if you recall, let's go ahead and restart this one. We're building we're working on the Larajobs native PHP MenuBar application so that um, we can see when new jobs are posted. We can see the latest latest jobs that were posted, and get notifications. Ideally, when a new job is posted. So um, this is what we've got so far. We were getting the CSS to load, and then I just started working on extending this out, like each job out of the feed out to a separate Livewire component. So you guys didn't see that stuff, but that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm feeding it. If you take a look here, we'll go back to our job. Go back to our job. Let me undo this. Yeah. I'm sorry, not our job, our feed. So we have this at the top, the job postings. We just have this button here for now. We're going to make that link probably back to Larajobs. So you can just click and it takes you. And then we're doing a for each item, and then just putting out this new Livewire job, Livewire component. So this now should show. Let's see if we have to restart the app. Cool. Value type null is not callable. I have been, oh, I see. I have been working primarily in the last video on within the browser, and just like, whatever problems we might have with the Electron, with native PHP, we can still build this application out so that it works within the browser, and then package this up so that it works as a Mac menu bar application. So and that I spent some time explaining that, and the reasons to do that and not to do that, etc. But yeah, so let's go ahead and take a look. So here we have a list, and we should also see that list here. And that's great. So it looks like right now we're getting, primarily we're getting the link and the title. So if I click that, that should open up, yep, within the same browser, which I don't really like, within the same window. I would rather this open in the native browser. I'm not even sure if that's possible, but the native browser, or from a new window at the very least, right? So let's stop that. We don't want that. And I also want to enable dictation. No, I don't. I also want to, let's format that a little bit. So I was looking at these grid lists. It looks like this is more or less what we're looking for. We're not going to have the image per se, but we could at least play with it, right? So we would take out this image, and then we would have this would be the title. This would be href equals link. And then we would have the description and the date. Now, this is going to be like small grids calls too. We really want this just to be one column. And gap 4, I don't think it's really necessary, but we'll leave that there for now. And let's go ahead and serve native again. See what that looks like here. Cool. So yeah, I don't like the roundedness. We're gonna have to work on that. Looks like every other one is rounded, or the border, and every other one has Let's see what that looks like in the window in the in here. So we're getting the same thing here. So it's not. But that's interesting, wasn't it? That's why. So this I could have done differently. Let's put this back to, I believe this is a paragraph. We'll make this the link. We'll remove this. And okay. And then there's something that we're doing here that's like every other one is doing something funky. Oh, no, it's this. That's what it is. Cool. So, yeah. So I'm going to take these borders out. And I'm going to we can reduce the vertical padding between each one. So py of 5, let's make that like a 2. Kinda. We can make the px of like 2, and then if that's the case, we can just do p2. Okay. Not amazing, but it works. And maybe it would be nice to have, like, instead of this looking like it's obvious that you click, because it's not very obvious, maybe we have a link off to the side instead. So let's do this. We have a good button laid out for us already. If we go back to the feed, here's a nice button. We'll worry about the colors here in a bit. Not too concerned right now about it. And let's say view job. And let's make these flex and item center and justify between, and then wrap this in a div and get rid of that. Oh, we want this though. I'm not even sure if there's a description. Let's take a look at it real quick. Don't like that. All right, so there's a description, so that's cool. So we can say like we can give that a width so that we don't have this problem. Or I believe there's a way to do like flex 1 on this item. Right, that's going to take up the remaining of whatever the space is that's given, and we could try this. We could say class equals width of 3/4, and that's going to limit that. And then we want to, looks like it's okay. It's okay. It looks like these aren't really centered, and with these buttons you need to, like the text, like if you do text center, typically that doesn't work to center those. You have to do justify center. Yeah, that looks better. And then we can give this a bit more padding on this side, so we can do like just PR2, something like that. Just give it a little bit more. Did it rebuild it that fast? That's pretty cool. Yeah, that's a little bit better. So we also have, let's make the title a little bit bigger. So we'll do, instead of text small, we'll just erase that and make it text base by default. Make it a little bit bigger. And I don't love how, like, the guy on the other side wants to be all catchy, right? And he makes this all caps. And I know that there's a tailwind. Let's see what that is. Just like what is it called? So capitalize, capital, text transform, normal case, or capitalize. See what that does. We also could do it with like string. We can like make that all lower and then wrap this in like a is it upper or capitalized? I always forget. Camel? I don't think it's camel case. Upper. You see first. You guys get to see how lovely I am with this. All right, cool. So that kind of normalized it. That's a little bit better. The date format here. So let's work on that just for a minute. We can carbon, make, and then format. That should work. And we just really, we don't care about the time. We just want the, let's do FJY, like that. Cool. That's the description. And not all of them have a description. Some of them do. And they look just like the, and they're truncated. And it looks just like the other, like the title. So let's make those. I don't know why that's not working, actually. It shouldn't look like that, actually. Maybe that was part of the title, actually. Maybe that's not even, there isn't even a description. So in that case, do we want to, we have a couple options. We can make the whole thing wider. We can, which we probably want to do anyway, right? Maybe. We can change the whole button layout thing and make that just a little icon, just a small SVG that's off to the side, and that gives more space for the title. We can make the whole thing wider. I just said that. Those are the first two that at least that come to mind. So we can play with this for a minute. Let's format that. Let's get that. And let's do, let's get a link SVG. So I love Heroicons, and there's a great package for it that I believe Marcel built also to bring it in. So you can just do like anonymous component, Laravel anonymous components, so like x-heroicons-m/ whatever it is. But you can just like get a, I think they let you just copy the SVG here. So we want the link. Yeah, so copy the SVG. And instead of all of that, we don't need the whole button. We can do this, and let's take away this background. And it'll essentially look like just a link, but we want to use a button so that we can open this up differently. If we turn this button into an anchor tag with an href, it's going to open within the same window. We don't want that. We want to open a separate window, or ideally use like whatever you've chosen for your default browser, right? But I'm not sure if that functionality exists yet in NativePHP. So either way, we're going to want this to be a button so that we can have a wire click handler and call a function that opens up a window at the very least. So let's make this, instead of text white, let's make this like, let's try like cyan 500. And maybe I can find some classes if they're using Tailwind, which I would assume that they are, on the Larajobs site. So let's go to Larajobs. probably up here somewhere already. And let's see if we can get this color. Sky 600. Is that a built-in color? I think it is on the latest Sky 600. And we do want this now, the text to be, let's do like, that might be too small. Let's go 4x4. And then we can make this like 7/8 wide, or let's see what that looks like. All right, so since these are justify between, yeah, so I want these instead of, so this is more styling stuff than actual functionality. And maybe I could just pause this and come back to it, but I don't think there's much left to do. So I'll give it a minute. So we don't want this to items center. We want this to items start. And instead of justify between, I guess that is right, isn't it? Let's take this flex one off. Keep going back to this. Yeah, and then we'll just do a little bit of, is it margin or padding? Do MT2, something like that. It's a little bit better. Okay. It kind of is like centered, but then you have things like this where you don't want that halfway down, right? I do think we should have like a border bottom of some sort. Maybe not necessarily a border, maybe a shadow. And then maybe some extra, let's see. So for each one of them, we're going to do shadow. Okay, that's not working. Let's put it here. Hello, shadow, where are you? Give it some spacing. All right, that's where it is. So shadow, let's do, oh, it's a little bit too small. So let's do medium. I kind of like that. The only thing is I want this to have some padding on the side. So px like 3 maybe. That's a little bit better. It's a little bit better. I feel like there's a little bit too much space here. So this MT6, make it like 2. Okay. Yeah, I mean, that's not amazing. I would definitely clean this up more, but I can tolerate that while we're building up the rest of the functionality. Instead of this saying all of this, really what we want is like the Larajobs logo, right? So let's go back to our job, sorry, the feed. And yeah, I want this. We're going to want that to be a button so that it can link out externally, right? Let's do like image source equals storage path, whoops, app slash, I think it's larajobs.png. And let's do class H of like 8 and W auto. At least for now. Let's see what that looks like. I don't know why I keep going back to that. I'm so used to doing it. So that's not pulling in. Why is that? Is it working here? It's not. So probably because it needs to be like public, right? So let's just move that over to public. So storage, app, Larajobs, boop, and put this in public. And we can put it in like a public image. So now we can, let's go back to the feed and we'll make this just slash image Larajobs, the PNG. See if that works. It does. Perfect. All right, so we'll get rid of that, and then I don't know if we need this button because we're not creating anything, and we can make this so that again, we can do like pointer. What is that? Pointer or mouse pointer? I forget that one, and I don't know why my type ahead isn't working, but we can do pointer. Pointer. Hello. Where is it? It's not pointer events. What the heck? All right, so I'm not gonna worry about it right now. I think it's mouse over pointer. We'll just try that. Something like that. Hey, looks like it works. Do we want to force people to click this? Maybe we make the whole thing. Maybe we make the whole thing a link. I do want this. Let's do a little bit of like MB4. Just move that whole thing down a little bit from there. And then it looks like there's ML4, MT2. What is the padding on the bottom? It looks like it's off a little bit. Nope. Is it really just this? I thought that would have pushed everything else back down. Not so much. PX6. That's fine. I'm fine with that. We don't really need this. PY5, that might be it. Cool. So we can really do like just P6. Might work. Strange. So let's see, we can check this out in the browser. We can kind of debug it there. Why is there more padding? Is the button? Really? It was me? No, it's still got something there. I guess it just looks like it because of that. It's kind of weird though. You guys see what I'm seeing, right? It just looks like there's more space below than above. I'm gonna leave it alone for right now, I suppose. There certainly are better ways to make this look, but we also could like add, maybe some of this stuff. Yeah. So I think this is a good start. I think that the last thing we're going to do is have it so that when you click on one of the links, it opens in a new window. I would love to see if this will allow you to open inside of a URLs, like how to open a URL inside of the native, like your default browser. Don't know if it does. So we can do this. We can do this. inside of the job, inside of this button, we will say wire click equals visit job, view job. And then that's going to accept this link. So now inside of job, visit job. So we have visit job. And that's going to accept the link and import the facade. And let's check that out. Oh, we want to do it here though. Okay. First of all, let's get rid of indigo. Make it sky. So let's do this. See, why isn't that? That should give me visit job. Let's restart this too. And then we'll try something just to like flush it out if it's still not working. Still not working. So let's try. Okay. Let's see if it works here. It's not working there. Is it on the job? Should be. I mean, that's how you do a function in Livewire, isn't it? Wire, click, visit job. Then you pass this in. I mean, if you just do this, yeah, it takes me to it. We could do this link, actually. So I'm not sure why that wasn't working, but this link. And DD this link. Would think that would have popped up. Let's rebuild it. Should have the window. We do. But that's not working. Interesting. Ugh. I don't like those attributes. All right. Say DD this. Maybe the whole thing has like an href or something around it that so that does have a link for each one of these. But this should, I mean, that should fire. That should work. I don't see. I think that it's just like. Let's try it somewhere else. Let's try it somewhere else. So like. Say button, wire, click, equals, and you should have even like the type ahead. Yeah. And say, try it. Okay, try it. Yeah, that's strange. Why wouldn't that work? I wonder, does console, well, it's not really showing me anything. That's interesting. There's an unexpected end of JSON input, and that could throw some things off. Where is it showing? No, that's not it. I don't think it is, at least. Well, YouTube, let me put this in your hands. Let's pause it right here. I'm going to work on this a little bit and clean up some other things. And I'm going to release this out there. And comment below if you're following along. I'm also going to push this out. I think. I mean, that bounty's still out there, but honestly, I'm not so concerned necessarily about the bounty or even being the official Larajobs, whatever. Cool, but I'm more interested in learning the tech and sharing what I'm learning with you guys. So yeah, I'll push this out there and I'll put it in the description of this YouTube video, and you guys can pull it down and play around with it as it currently is, and we'll go from there. See if you guys can figure out what's going on as I work on it, and yeah, let's meet up. So I will talk to y'all later.